Imagine Hardcore Collective. That's the point.
Well, PK is still, I feel.
So whenever you guys are ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
You got these questions ready?
Yeah.
Just don't look us in the eyes, dude, and we're all good.
All right. So.
Especially not him. Look at the ceiling when you talk to us.
The wizard. All right. So can you guys each say your names and what you play in the band?
I'm Bean. I play guitar. Blacklisted.
I'm George, and I sing.
Sean, play the drums. Dave, play bass.
And what got Blacklisted started?
What do you mean what got us started?
Like what got the band like started in the beginning?
Just to play music, punk and hardcore. Just that. I mean, I hope that's everybody's answer in any band that I've ever played with or seen. But
Robbie Ritchie's basement.
yeah, there was this guy that we used to go see shows in his basement. He had a basement. He had a cool basement that had gigs, and we would like be there. And I met like a couple people and started Blacklisted. With the only goal was to like play that scummy fucking basement. But we accomplished it, and then after that it was like, wow, it'd be cool if we could play CBGBs. And then everything else kind of just like was handed to us. Which
Awesome.
fell into place. I don't know how it happened.
Can you say what year it started?
Yeah, Blacklisted started in March of 2003. We recorded our demo like March 8th or something like that of 2003.
Hence 3800.
Yeah, that's the song 3800.
And how'd you guys get the name Blacklisted?
Breakdown. New York hardcore legends.
And what was each of you guys' what each got you guys into hardcore individually, and what was the first show you went to knowing you were going to a hardcore show, if you can recall?
Holy hell.
Sorry, no pressure.
I can jump this off because we just talked about this on the plane. It's not really hardcore, but it was the start of many things. I saw a band called U.S. Expulsion. Not a joke, in a YMCA in Frankfurt. I ended up later in life being in a band with a couple of those people, and then met Dave through that said band. I had known George, and it did, just snowballs. Ended up at
We did Mohawks then.
yeah, then
Did
you end up.
I'm sure I had.
You got like charged.
Yeah, I had a full charge going on.
GBH.
Pretty much.
We were talking
And
about GBH.
somehow ended up in a Madball show, and then so on and so forth.
Madball.
So on and so forth. Correct.
How many people's story do you think that is like, yeah, I just wound up at a Madball show.
Next
It just fucking happened.
thing I know, I got kicked in the face at a Madball gig. Probably by you.
The thing that got me into hardcore was Agnostic Front.
Hello.
Yeah. So that from there, and then I was just into New York hardcore. That's all I cared about. And then I grew. But the big thing for me for Blacklisted actually came later, like when I was already like about to enter my 20s, was when American Nightmare was around. Like just like being friends with those guys and like, stuff like that. Which is interesting because that's why we're out here now, is to play with them and like in the little later on during the week. But I don't know. I can't like sit here and be like, I was only fucking New York hardcore, even though that was like my first love before like anything, like even jerking off or something.
What's up, buddy?
Mine was just, they always had shows in my neighborhood, like at like a church or like a, American Legion Hall or something like that. And I probably started going to ones that were like literally like 4 blocks up from my house at this church. And like, it was just like, I guess, I was in like 7th grade, so I assumed that was not what you were hearing on the radio.
Yeah.
And I knew it was like some type of underground thing happening. A lot of it was like cheesy, like
Was it Dog Eat Dog?
early Green Day ripoffs. No, it was like the worst.
All
It was like
Green
the
Day
worst
ripoffs?
stuff. It was like bands that would like play their whole set with like the strobe light on,
And like 2 bass strings.
and I'd be like, dude, like,
Flu Blanc, remember?
Flu Blanc, Dimension 9.
Oh my, yes, I do.
I got some. I still got flyers
The other
too.
fuel?
These are just like
I start saving like flyers like.
us
from,
3
like-
grew up in the same area, so
That's
like
awesome.
Yeah, I have like.
these are all like
crazy
local
flyers.
bands like never even made a tape. You know,
Shout out to Tribe
Yeah,
15.
like the band would play like one show, and then like you'd never hear about them ever again. And they'd be like, "Oh, we used to be in this band, but now we're in this band." And it's like,
It was on. It kept.
yeah.
Going
So I don't
on.
even know if it was like punk or hardcore, but it was something different. It wasn't, it wasn't like Bush on the radio, or it wasn't comparable to that or something,
Yeah.
But then just from like through friends, hey, check out this record. All right, cool. This band, has a huge thank you list, and then they list all these other bands, and then it just kind of just starts rolling like from there.
Kinda like
Then you start finding out actual real shows.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this band that actually heard their record, they came down from wherever they're from, Boston or Connecticut or wherever. Or
Yeah, like
they came from Cleveland. So, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. Like, and it might have been like early like versions of like Death Threat or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much like. I feel like we're fortunate in that sense.
But that's like local.
We had a lot of like, I mean,
like aside from that, like I guess like the first like show that I like recognized as like hardcore was like Shelter. But at the time of like getting the hardcore was like huge, and like I think now people look back and they don't really like, they only want to like recognize Youth of Today's impact, which was huge, but like Shelter had a huge impact too.
Yeah, they don't get as much
hardcore.
recognition as like Youth of Today does.
Yeah, like I mean the first like one of the first couple of gigs I went to was a Shelter one, and it was just like Hari Krishna just like walking down the street like throwing flowers, and like to be like a 13-year-old kid and see it's like freaks you out, and then it's like all peaceful, and then
Shelter was so insane when it came out.
yeah,
And then when we were teenagers, Ink and Dagger was happening in
yeah,
Philadelphia.
which was cool because that was
Very
local.
crazy
That
time.
was local too, but they were like. They were nice. No one's ever fucked
They
with
were
that
on some
band
other
ever.
shit.
People can play their instruments for 10,000 years. And you're never fucking with what that band did. What about you, dude? This is the oldest member of Blacklisted Interview.
Older than the hills here.
The Hills of Mordor.
The first show I ever went to, like, it was all local bands. Like where I'm from is Delaware County. It's like a little, like 20 minutes south of the city. I'm in the suburbs. And there was like a little scene there. It was like basically like these 3 or 4 high schools, and like kids like had all these bands that like no one's ever heard of. Like even more so than like the bands like you're talking about in the city. Like I've heard of some of those bands, even though I've never seen them.
yeah.
Like no one's ever heard of Out of Line or Justified Action or Teddy Bear Picnic.
He's busting out some. Oh my god, he's dusting off some shit that we never even heard
The
of.
first show
He's
I
in
ever
the
went to was
basement.
like, no, this wasn't even a
He's in the
basement. This
triple
was
sub
out-
basement.
Sub
outdoor in a park in a gazebo was the first show I ever went to.
Damn.
Fuck.
It was like, I think it was a ska band, there was a funk band, there was like 2 hardcore bands that now I probably wouldn't call them hardcore.
And I hope Teddy Bear Picnic.
Every Upper Darby show.
Teddy Bear Picnic was a funk band.
Yeah.
That's how every Upper Darby show was. And then some
Yeah,
Nazi skinhead band.
Yeah, and there was
Headlined
and then there was a band where dude had a fucking boots and braces shirt on.
Damn.
And then that was probably 9th grade, but like a little before that, I was into like stuff like Guar and the Misfits and like Metallica. I still love Guar. I brought a Guar shirt with me. But I wasn't really into like hardcore like per se, but I was more into like some punk stuff at the time. When I was in 9th grade, there was all these kids in my school started coming to school with like X's on their hands, and I was like, "What the hell does this shit mean?" And like my friend gave me a Minor Threat tape, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, I see what this is all about."
And now
I'm into
Eleanor's suffering.
this. Now I'm fucking 34 years old and I'm still straight edge. I'm like doing this crap and ruining my life. And it's
Yo, I got a quick Minor Threat story.
yeah.
They had one of the first hardcore CDs I had was a compilation.
Yeah.
And you know how I got it? Like some lady at my mom knew was like, "Yo, fill out this like survey." They wanted like preteens to like fill out this survey thing, and it was just like it looked like a test, like a multiple choice test. It was just like your opinion on some shit. I filled it out, and like they had all these CDs to pick from. Like that was your prize. Like you didn't get cash or nothing. You got like to pick a CD. And like I didn't know none of this shit. Like, but I like recognized like the Minor Threat discography, and I was like, I'm gonna get that one. And then like it came like a week later or something. And I just was like, it was just like on a whim kind of, because I like recognized the name from hearing it around. And then that was like pretty much like the first CD I had of hardcore stuff.
Yeah, I used to come into the city on the commuter rail on weekends with my friends. I remember the first hardcore records I ever bought were the Minor Threat 12-inch and Shelter Perfection and Desire, when probably right as that record came out. Those were the first 2 LPs I ever bought. So.
George wrote some.
George is my bloke. How would George write this?
I honestly don't. I don't really have any influences lyrically. I don't know. I just kind of write and hope that it like goes with what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of just wing it. I'm
That's
not
what
like
you're feeling in the moment, I think.
I mean, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like compiles through time as we write, but I don't know. I just cross my fingers and write it and hope it makes sense to me and then after that, I don't know if people get it. I never really asked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not like a writer, dude. I'm just like a hardcore kid, you know?
Instrumental, huh? He tries to play like Lemmy. He just tries to look cool as hell. I think how would Mackie play fast and slow? I don't know. What's our musical influences?
Everything. We don't really.
Ourselves. At this point,
Yeah, like it's
ourselves.
Well, breakdown, of course.
You know,
We don't have a formula. Like,
Yeah. Basically, our formula is no formula, and sometimes it's good for us, and sometimes it isn't. Like,
write the song out of order. That's what it's done.
I mean, it's
That's
never
what
been
it's
bad for us, like, despite
Mm-hmm.
anything anybody said. Like, I don't care.
done.
But
We've written songs like so weird, probably like backwards.
yeah,
Like we
That's-
write like the
our
end
new
part
7-inch
first.
started from the artwork.
That's pretty
we'll
cool,
come in with an
actually.
end part,
Yeah.
put together a whole song, and then like take out half of it. There's two choruses in here. I don't only want.
Well, you know,
Take this out.
yeah, but now we add more choruses.
Yeah, now we have more.
But you know what? Like, I think Blacklisted started as like a hardcore band. It was like New York hardcore, and then as we went, I feel like punk more became an influence. Like the
Yeah.
mindset of that, like versus like, I don't want to be like one of those people that's like you see all hardcore and it's all the same because like I don't believe that to be true. But like for a majority of it, it is. You're kind of like, wow, this is this and this is that, and like there's like these cliquish things, and like I think Blacklisted see themselves as a band that like, not that we didn't get accepted in any particular like clique, we were just like we only really like each other, so it's like hard for us to like get along with, not hard to get along, we just don't really like put ourselves out there to do it. I know we don't really do that many interviews, we don't really like do that much stuff just because like we like to hang out with each other and play music, and when you start doing that stuff, it compromises not only what you're doing, but it compromises like your friendships and stuff like that, because you're like
Totally.
you're constantly inside of this thing that's like a machine, and you don't have time to like be outside of it and grow.
It's a bond, yeah.
Yeah, and I think like sometimes people look at Blacklisted and like why have they been playing for this amount of years or whatever, and it's just like because we're friends first, you know.
Exactly,
Like we
yeah.
realize, you know, that's the core of what we do. So like when Sean says like we're our own influence, like it's not like we're like so fucking sick that we're our own influence. It's more so like we're, as people, are more important. Like these people are more important to me than like anybody in my life, like ever. So that's where the music comes from.
That's really solid to hear.
Yeah. I'm crying behind these songs.
I mean, it's just,
because we're all hungry.
correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys played at a show where it was the last time you were going to play anything before Heavier Than Heaven. Is that true?
Nah, I don't know.
No?
I think
So that's what I've heard, and I saw some video and it said that, and so I don't know. So if you guys want,
What?
I mean, no, you know, I'll be
Like
honest.
you don't play
we
anything
said,
before Heavier Than Heaven
Now
anymore.
peace on earth.
Well,
Yeah.
But see, we were just talking about this
Well-
earlier. How weird like our like evolution kind of has been as a band.
mhm.
Like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, weren't we just saying like we were just talking about like I heard somebody saying like you guys playing The Beat Goes On or whatever, and we're
Mhm.
like, no way, dude. Like, because it's like, you know, and I feel like, well, Dave and Bean didn't play on that. Me and George
Mhm.
are the, you know, remaining two from
Oh,
that
yeah.
era. And I feel like me and him can say whatever we want about that record
Mhm.
because like we know like the process.
You're a part of it, yeah.
Yeah, like so it's like I don't know, like I've talked shit about that record myself because it's like, you know what I mean, like because I was a part of the process, and I think we
Yeah.
were just trying to like, you know, like we were just talking about this earlier, like how it was just like, dude, wasn't it crazy? Like it's just like we didn't really know like ourselves almost to a sense. Like we were just trying to be heavy and just sound like crazy, but like I feel like it. Like me or him can like talk shit about that record if we want. But if somebody else said something, I'd be like, then like I'd be like, fuck you, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, you know what? I know what you're talking about. You're talking about when Blacklisted played This Is Hardcore with the original people.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, so it goes like this. Like, when you're 20 years old and you start a band and your only goal is to play like a squat basement, and then people are like, no man, like come play here, come do this, come put out this record, come do this. You're 20, you have like no experience, like, so I was like mesmerized. So like I can't sit here and be like, the people that started Blacklisted with me, fuck them, they're not influential.
Yeah.
They were like huge. Like if it wasn't for them, this wouldn't have been a band. Would I have started a band with Bean eventually? Probably. But would it have been what it is now? I don't know. So like, you have different connections with people. So like me being, like I'm easily the most like one that gets hurt the most by what people say, because like I've been here since the beginning. So like I can say like I was there when we wrote the demo, and like those guys were like my friends, but they like weren't so much like how these people are my friends. Like I've known Bean for more than half my life, so it's like that's a different type of bond you have than like someone you meet at a show, right? So I played with those guys, and like we didn't end on good terms because I was swept up in, come do this, come do that. You can go to Europe, you can go here. Like, well, it wasn't like what was I supposed to do, but like those guys wanted to go a different path, and like it's difficult to say, but like it was kind of more. It was like nobody possessed the band, but if they were point the finger at anybody whose band it was at that point, they would say me. So I kept going with it, and I don't have any regrets with it. And like it sucks because like it hurts when people say shit like, but like the only thing I ever have a regret with is The Beat Goes On. Like, because we could have done something so good, but we were so just swept up in we're going to tour, like that's it, like we're just going to break that open. And we had like 2 weeks, and we just like pushed out this record, and like I mean the guitar player that played on that, I mean he can drop dead, I don't care, but like that record, no matter what I think of it, will always be special to me, because like that put me somewhere and put Sean somewhere. Not me personally, Blacklisted.
Yeah.
Without that, like there would have been no peace on earth. Like there wouldn't have been the point where that person left and like Bean came in and was like, no, we're like, let's do it. We're gonna do this. And like, the most special record is Peace on Earth, because that was when us four started playing together. But like as that far as like evolution goes, like I can't be like this record is whatever. But that show happened as more of like a bury the hatchet type of thing, or like there's no reason to not talk to those people. They never did anything to me. It was more so, you're gonna go to college, like you have this good opportunity. Not that I couldn't pursue that, but like this is what I want to do. Like this is what I like. Like I like stage diving and seeing bands, and like what better way to do it than be in your own band.
Totally.
There's nothing cooler than like stage diving for your own band.
And do you guys have a favorite venue and stage play?
I like the J Cafe
J Cafe?
in San Diego. I really like this old venue in Birmingham, Alabama called Cave 9. I don't know, I can't pick them all. You guys that like places too, so go ahead.
The church, obviously, if we can ever play
In
there.
Philadelphia, yeah.
We've played a lot of places in Chicago, a lot of different venues.
And they're all good, pretty good.
I always, it seems like no matter what venue we played, it was pretty good.
Any show in Belgium, no matter where.
Yeah, he said it. The States.
Actually, anywhere in general.
He didn't
so
say
there
the
you go.
Euro states.
He would go right to Europe. No, I mean, I don't know, like places that have always been good to us
Gilman.
have been Chicago,
Yeah.
Gilman, like the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Seattle's always been really good, even though we never get up there.
Here, like this area,
Yeah,
like Southern
definitely.
California.
Chain has always been good.
California's always been good as a whole, I guess we could say.
Two of my favorite shows you ever played were in Iceland.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's
That's like,
real different, because they're not even.
I mean, that's the best. Let's go to the States.
There's a lot. There's too many to list. It just there's some places. I just can name some places that really suck, but there's a lot of places that.
Playing home.
I like
is
playing,
cool, but
yeah,
like
a
it's
small show in
playing home
Philly
is so
is cool.
stressful, dude.
What's that?
Playing home is cool. Like playing in Philly. What?
Alright.
Playing at home is cool, but it's like stressful, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just
It's like your hometown.
it's just stressful, dude, because it's like not even because of the show. The show's the easy part. When you're on stage, everyone's leaving you the hell alone. Everything
They probably won't officially be out until after that.
in the States.
In the States, yeah. Japan will be out as a CD.
So if you really want it, go to Japan.
Import only. Nah, I don't know. I mean, we don't have plans. We just see what happens.
We'll see how people like these 3 songs first.
Fly by the seat of our pants.
I don't care if people like the songs, dude. I mean, maybe we'll do another 7-inch or something, or maybe more. Who knows? I don't know.
We don't have plans.
Yeah.
Totally. And before I end this, you guys got any shout outs? Anyone, anything?
Nah.
No.
I'd like to give
Nah,
a shout
fuck
out to
everyone.
George,
Oh, no, actually,
Sean,
shout out,
and Dave,
shout out to these guys in Hood Rack.
and Hood Rack,
Yeah.
Todd.
And Todd, Taylor, John.
Do you like Stick Together?
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
You get a shout out too, then.
Yeah, you get a shout out
Yeah,
to
Like
them.
fun.
If you don't fuck with Stick Together, I don't fuck with you. It's just the way it is.
How about nails? You like that? You like nails?
Nails? Yeah, and fucking War Hungry I've been really into lately.
They're so good. Nails.
How good is their LP?
Dude.
The
Who?
War Hungry
War
LP?
Hungry LP? How good is it?
But the new one?
That
I
new
haven't-
Led
I haven't
Zeppelin
listened to
record?
You should get it. I know the guy to put it out.
it. Oh really?
He kind of rips people off, but he can be cool sometimes.
Wait, what's the new one called?
It's just self-titled.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
He's right there.
The guy to put it out. What's up, dude? You got any more questions?
No. Can you guys all just say you're watching Hardcore Collective? 1, 2, 3.
You're watching the Hardcore Collective. What's the point?
Oh yeah.